Welcome. Nice to see you. It's a beautiful day, a little bit cloudy. Not too crazy. A little bit of sun, a little bit of clouds. You may even see that happening with the lighting. I lined that up to have the drawing class right on time for the lighting to really work and kind of like change the lighting and the scenery as the drawing class goes on. You pay a lot in your dues every month, so it's going to good things. I'm controlling the sun for all of us and the clouds. That's where all your dues are going. Thanks for joining the club. This is Level Up with Louie. This is Drawing Wednesdays. If anybody is out there, give a hello in the chat. We have a chat going on the side. Check that out. Feel free to reach out through there. I assume most of the time that I'm not actually going live and this isn't working, and I'm just talking into the void, and then magic happens. Gwendolyn Show, hello, thank you. Thank you, the Gwendolyn Show. So, friends, let's go over what you'll need for this drawing class, and then let's get into drawing. We have an hour. Today, we're going to draw some figures, some creatures, goblins, skeletons. Those are the two on the list. We may only get to one, we may get to the other, we may do a quick one, slow the other. We're not quite sure. Nobody's in charge here, that's all. It's chaotic. This is a chaotic, neutral environment. I like when my hand's up here, it blocks that light just a little bit. All right, so what do you need? What do you need to make this happen, friends? I'll tell you what you need. You're going to need some pencils. I have 3 different ones here, all about basically the same. Pencils, erasers. Okay, these are my favorite. These are high polymer erasers. You can clean these off on your desk chair or on the carpet somewhere in your house. Don't do it out in the middle of the floor, obviously, behind a cabinet or something, kids. Come on. And then a notepad, a piece of paper, some sort of notepad. I have a spiral-bound art paper going on. That's what I normally use for most of my drawings. I switch up what type of paper I use. Mainly just every couple books, I like to work on a slightly different type of paper. Sometimes I have a favorite. Sometimes that favorite changes. And then the types of pens I will be using. Some of you are just going to use a ballpoint pen. Perfectly cool. Totally doable. And then I have these Pentel. These are available at Michael's or online. Maybe even at somewhere like Staples, possibly, something like that. You can pick up all this most likely at Staples. Again, it's not about the tools you have. Having great tools after you have learned some great technique is the way to go. But in the beginning, you might juggle with the worst juggling clubs ever, the Juggle Bugs, which were awesome juggling clubs and the only ones available. But at the same time, they were multi-piece, heavy, kludgy, but we got trained up on those. So when we went to the better tools, it meant something. Fun fact. Secrets revealed. So today, a couple other things you may want to have. Pencil sharpener, always good, right? I have with me 2 beverages. I have water. Sip of water to you, my friends. I had some ice in it earlier. Yep. And then a coffee here. It's the last coffee of the day. I haven't had a whole lot of coffee, so nobody be mad about the level of coffee I'm drinking. Okay. We've done some strange stares into the camera. We have all of our objects. Let us now all wish and hope and pray and press over to the other camera scene and hope the page is still there. It is, everybody. Good job, good job. Now you see I'm down here. I have erasers, I have pencils, I have pens, all the good stuff, right? Let's get started with some practice drawings. We're 7 minutes in. That's the perfect time. Usually I like to take the first 5 to 10 minutes, depending on who's coming in, who's going. I don't quite know. This is one thing I'm not quite sure. I don't see how many people are watching, all that sort of stuff. So again, I'm assuming everybody is there. We have over 200 people who are ready to draw some circles and lines. Today, let's get some practice circles and lines in. I have this nice sharp pencil. I'm just going to be doing, this is one of my favorites here. Circle, circle. Now I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to go top around that way, bottom around that way. Like I'm starting on different sides of the circle. See, I started here, I started here, I started here, I started there. Right? So work on making your circles from any side you start on. Make a circle. When you're drawing, you are not always going to end up with, like, every time you go to put down the pen on paper and you start working on your scene, working on your art, it's going to change. Where you start is going to change where you can go a little bit. So learning how to randomly pick a start point and then just go from that. I apologize for that. That was too much water. Oh, sorry you had to see that, everybody. I'm going to circle my... This is why we are not getting together right now to play D&D or draw in a room together, because of COVID and aerosol. That's it. You saw that happen. Now this paper. For paper. All right. Sometimes when I'm drawing, another thing we're going to get into, keep going circles. Circles within circles. Go back to some of your circles. Notice my hand has changed a little bit here from my drawing position. When I personally want a little more precise control, fine motor control, and this gets to clinching up, but I control my pencil this way with a very fine movement of these fingers here, moving that pencil, gives me some very fine control. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going back in and retracing these circles. This gets you used to just controlling your lines, getting lines parallel to each other. Here's some other practice we're going to do. Again, my hand is clenched here. Notice sometimes my hand is more clenched, sometimes it's more open. These lines are harder for me when my hand's more open, but I need to practice them, right? I'm going to do some diagonals here. This is all just practice. These are some fill patterns that we've done in the past here. As a group, we've done this fill pattern, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This lets you start to work the speed as well. Sometimes I have some music going on in the background. If you want to turn on any Hobbit music or some drawing music, right now it's just the polite sound of the air conditioner. So enjoy that. If anybody's like, hey, Louis, you stopped broadcasting. What's going on? Send me a message somewhere. And once every 3 to 6 hours, I'll check my phone and see if that message. I guess it won't really work for this, because this is an hour-long drawing class. Circles, 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 inner circles. Sometimes you go quicker and they're not as good, but that's also what gives some lines their character. Like every line doesn't need to be perfect. But every line needs to have a little something, little character in there. All right. You're doing great, everybody. I'm reading some of the posts. Okay, Gwendolyn, thank you, Gwendolyn Show. Everybody check out the Gwendolyn Show. She streams live. She also puts together the Renaissance Stream Guide, which is great, which she might link here. You can check out all this. I was trying to remember the exact name of it. Maybe she'll link it here. She wants to know, do you remember learning how to hold a pencil? Like, I remember learning how to hold a pencil. Like, my parents taught me how to hold a pencil in the beginning, and they had those little eraser things sometimes around the edge that you would have to, so you could grip and learn to grip the pencil. But for drawing, I would say I've gone through a couple different phases of ways to hold the pencil. And just recently, like in the last couple years, I have been practicing opening up my hand to draw, because I would end up clenching so much, getting some detail done, my hand would hurt. And I'm like, this is not probably good for my hand. So thank you, Renaissance Stream Guide, for putting that up there. I did get it right, Renaissance Stream Guide. So I learned from people, I watched other people, I just practiced opening my hand a little bit. That finger out, I remember seeing a lot of animators and people who would paint cells. They wear this little glove, but placing that hand on the paper and then using that as a balance point gave you a lot of fine control. You could really clinch down, different than this, my other clinch like this. Same sort of thing. I have a heavy base with this part of my hand. A heavy base. But this, I feel, gives you a little more control and changes the angle slightly, whereas up here, it's a little... Anyway, again, when you start doing this a lot is when you start to change things, vary things slightly, and learn a lot. Drawing, painting, anything like this is a whole lot of learning. It's a whole lot of figuring it out as you go. Even the masters got there because they spent hours and hours doing it and learning, oh, my hand works different, and then I get a better control, and look how finer this, I can oil paint hair better when my hand is open. Sometimes they would have a board sitting above the painting, because you want to put your hand on it for that, so you can get that control. They would have a board that would ride along with the painting, so they could rest their hand on the board, because that oil paint doesn't dry for days. Even you could go back a week later sometimes if you do it right, and it's still live. So you would put a board and they'd rest that hand there. But they could then learn, like, how do I do hair the best? Things like that. So I'm just drawing some shapes, working some shapes. Everybody likes shapes. Triangles are classic. I did these squares with boxes, just again, giving my hand some quick eye-hand coordination. Seeing I drew 4 corners there. How can I quickly connect those corners? Look at that open little space right there. That has a little bit of life to it. Sometimes when lines don't connect, that's where the magic happens, guys. So don't think you have to connect every line, or every line has to be perfect. Again, I'm just going to be doodling some as we talk about some of the things we're getting into. Drawing a line and then giving it a couple dots gives it some life, right? Some straight lines, but let's add some dots in there. That gives it some life. So if we're drawing a box, not everything's connected. Like, I'm going a little overboard here with the not connecting the lines. All right, that's a crate of some sort. And then the outside lines can be a little more straight. You go back in, clean that up. You go back in with a pen afterwards, and you'd hit some of these areas. Again, this is a lot of drawing technique as you lay your pencils down, then you come back and ink it later. In comic books, when people draw, there is the artist who mostly does pencils on these big pieces of paper, like size and a half, 2 times the size of a comic book, so it's about that big or so, it's a good sized piece of paper. And then somebody else does the ink. Some artists do the lines and the inks, and then somebody else does the color. Like, usually when you see a comic book page, there have been 4 or 5 artists, if you include the writer and the letterer, somebody who hand letters a lot of comics, not as much anymore, but it's pretty neat to know there's that many artists who touch one page of a comic book. And inking is one of the arts, one of the lost arts, because inking and coloring is all done on the computer now, mostly. And again, when you're inking, you get to make some choices as well, like what are we going to fill in? I'm just doing a little bit. This is a little bit of techniques we've done in the past, some of our other drawings. Putting some shading in, doing some inking. Again, we're just kind of leading up to some shapes and ideas. It's only 17 minutes in, everybody. We're great. Everybody take a sip of water. Enjoy your water. Time with friends. Speaking of friends, I had a couple more people submit art to Level Up with Louie drawing class. So, about the half an hour mark, I'm going to play some of the sent in art. And I have the people's names. So, if you are drawing with me today and send in some art, take a picture of it, send it to Level Up with Louie, possibly Little Empire, possibly me. You'll find a way to get it to me. through Level Up with Louie is the best. Through a message, through Level Up with Louie will probably be the best. I'll put it up here so other people can see it. That's always fun, right? All right, so I'm just going to flip my notebook around. You'll see it spin on my wooden table. This could be a wooden table from Transamerica. I don't know if I should be telling people that, but this is a real business table right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is a real business. Drink your water, it's on the list. All right. Last week when we did potions, I can go back and watch that. These will all be up on YouTube. We worked on circles, just some loose circles. Let's get a little bit more of those going today. But what we're going to do is we're going to bunch up some of these circles, all right? This is, again, just getting started here. We're going to do a circle, right? We're going to go a couple times around, let the hand be loose, kind of get a nice circle. This is a circle that we're going to be building on top of. Right now we're doing some overlapping circles, though. We're doing bunches. Imagine a bunch of grapes where some of them overlap each other. Some of them are just touching on the same plane. You can think of grapes. Some of them are closer to you. Some of them are farther from you if you hold up a bunch of grapes, right? Some are closer, some are farther from you. And so the ones that are farther are behind the ones that are closer. That's obvious. When you're drawing, though, a master technique would be to draw every grape at the plane it is on. What we're learning here is like we want to make 3 planes. So we have a front, we have plane 2 that these 2 items are on, and then we have plane 3 behind. Closest, middle, behind. And they don't quite look like that right now because there's some technique we're going to do to erase some lines to make things look like they're in front or behind. And again, I'm stating some of these things very simply, but if something is behind something else, you don't see all of the thing that's behind it, right? Like part of the lines disappear. Those lines right there that define this eraser edge disappear because they're now behind this one. Just like this line here that defines the edge of this circle that's behind, I can take this eraser, erase that in there, and now it has more of the illusion that it's behind. I'm gonna darken these edges a little bit here so you can see this. That's a ball there, but it's behind. That circle's behind. I'm gonna do the same thing here, but check this out. I'm gonna define this to be in the front. All of its lines are visible. This one is slightly behind that one, but these 2 are touching on the same, so neither of these erase each other here on plane 2. So they're just right next to each other. I'm going to go back with my eraser and erase some of these lines. In a way we could start to see depth a little bit. Holding the grapes. Here's all the stems of the grapes. Let's say these are cherries. Everybody loves cherries these days. They connect up there in the super cherry stem. This one's the closest. This one's farther away, right? Getting that feeling? You can go even a little farther, which would be you add a little bit of shade to the middle ground pieces and a little more shade to the farthest ground piece. Depth again. This one up here is the top. It doesn't get any shade. All cues, ways to give depth. Circles. Circles touching each other. Circles layered up on each other. Imagine if you were to draw a teddy bear, the basic parts of a teddy bear. Body, head, ears, arm, leg. Okay? So many intricate drawings are based on learning to quickly catch catch the flow or the essence of something with basic shapes like this, basic lines, gesture. It's one of my tough words, gesture drawings. A lot of those are done where you just try to catch in as few quick lines as possible the essence of a thing. This is not quite the same. That's more about learning flow. This is more about composition and shape. So a teddy bear, again, well, how do you draw a teddy bear? What's a teddy bear? You have a teddy bear body. Easy peasy. Teddy bear body. Teddy bear head. Yes, makes sense. Teddy bear ears. See how it's all just circles. Teddy bear arms. Teddy bear legs. And that's a little teddy bear sitting there. You put that other circle in the middle, you got the teddy bear belly. Got teddy bear eyes, teddy bear nose, teddy bear mouth. All circles. Teddy bear belly. Because this head's in front, it's sitting above that belly a little bit. To really make this effective, you have to erase some of those lines inside, right? I'm going to erase those body lines from those arm areas. There we go. I got a couple eyes here now. Nose, mouth. All right. These are sketch lines you're seeing. These are my sketch lines. I'm trying to get away from sketch lines a little bit because they get chunky. I'm trying to do everything in one line. So let me work on that while I'm here. Circles, shapes. Circles, shapes. There's your teddy bear, friends. There's your teddy bear. Isn't he a cutie? Now, to make him a Dungeons and Dragons teddy bear, and don't worry, this is all leading somewhere, okay? We're only 24 minutes in. Everybody have a sip of your coffee. Relax. Relax. Don't stress. Don't stress. There's no sense stressing about drawing. Drawing is such a wonderful, relaxing thing you can do for yourself. If you need a thing to work on and chill, or you just, like, again, go to drawing. Whistling's cool too, and whittling. I mean, I guess there's a bunch of things. Like, if you could draw, whistle, and whittle, jack of all trades right there. Cheers to you. That's it. I'm just going to check the tablet here real quick. Pardon me. Everybody keep drawing and doodling. Keep doodling and drawing. Great. Good job, everybody. Good job. You got your teddy bear, right? So to make him a D&D teddy bear, right? Like, you got to put a belt on that guy. And again, I'm just quick drawing here, having a little fun. Put a belt with a big old buckle. There you go. Buckle's a square, belt's some rectangles. Like this guy, a rectangle coming out the back with some other rectangles. We've done swords before too. So go back and remember some of your sword lessons. Look at that guy. He's got a sword now. This guy's already looking good. Let's give him a bear helmet that also his ears can poke out of. So helmet. We know that goes across the face. Looking great. That's this big old square right there. Cut some holes for the ears. Helmet comes over. Helmets have these things. This is just my classic helmet look. You get some like metal sort of things in there. That's pretty good. Well, you don't need much else. He's holding a potion. Remember we did potions? Potion's a circle, a square, little square, cork, trapezoidal. He's holding a potion with some stuff in it. Looking good, bear. You're ready for an adventure, bear. I'm going to have the sword poking out the bottom here so we can see the bottom of the sword. Feet. Feet. Put some shading on those feet. It just makes it look like a different color. Sometimes these textures aren't even about depth. These textures are about, it's black and white. So if you add a texture that almost feels like a color in a way. You can use textures, different textures to indicate different types of surfaces. Little rocks. But every one of these textures, feathers, every type of texture can be used as shading as well as to show, again, a color in a way. Black and white, it's texture. Looking good, everybody, looking good. You know what I'm happy with? And I'm shooting myself in the foot here. We haven't dropped a lot of frames, or the camera isn't blipping out like it did last time. I'm set up, I'm ready to go. We'll see. And I feel I'm pretty good on you can see some of these drawings. Friends, I want to go to a new page. I'm almost out of pages in this notebook. So let me pull this back here. Let's go to a new page. You guys too, get a blank sheet of paper. Get yourself ready to go, because we are going to do some goblins and some skeletons, my friends. I'm going to give you a way I do some quick sketch goblins. And as I'm getting into some of that, I'm going to put up on that screen some viewer drawings, things that you've sent in. And again, imagine music here. If you want music, go check it out. Also, later on, I'll show you this 10 of 10 goblins from Little Empire. Inside here are the stats for a goblin. And that's a little 10 there. And inside there are these little goblins that I created and cut. You can see those little guys. And all these were sketched up using the techniques I'm about to show you. Kind of how I sketched up each of these goblins. So you'll be able to see those and how that's done. It's kind of fun. That's what's going on here. That's what these guys are, these little goblins. So let's get to sketching some goblins. And you can see how I did it. Even if we have time, I can show you. Look, they left some marks on the paper. You'll have to forgive them. They are goblins. They left some marks on the paper. So that goes. Sip of water. Enjoy. I hope you've been doodling a little bit, doing some circles. You got a clean page. You need to use your pencil sharpener. Now is the time. We got a half an hour of class left going on. Let me show you the basics of what we got here, then I'll get that going for everybody's drawings right over on that side. A nice deep breath. What a nice time to be drawing, where you can take a deep breath and relax and not stress about it. I'm happy you're here. Thanks for being here, friends. Circle. Body. All right? Head. I'm going to go a little big. Arms and legs. I'm just going to give myself a circle, but I'm going to make it a little bit of an oval, all right? For me, that works a little better in just getting a goblin shape out or getting a humanoid shape. So you see our basics here. It's almost a star, with the head being the biggest, all right? And just like we did with our teddy bear, we're gonna circle in some basic shapes. So I'm gonna go. Let's start with the goblin head. For me, goblins have evil, and some goblins are great. Some goblins are good. The goblins I'm thinking about have kind of wicked smiles, some pointy teeth, pointy ears. They're a little ragged. Some things are not all symmetrical, and the armor and the clothes they wear, it's a little ragtag at times. Maybe one out of every 100 goblins has something like a fine linen shirt to wear. I just wonder if goblins know how to iron. Do they hire out for that? Is there somebody who comes around and collects once a month at Goblin Camp? We'll find out. Here we go. Off to the side here. Circle. Let's put an X through it, all right? With the line, the left to right line being a little higher than center. This is going to give us some symmetry to work off, basically. And then we're going to do those triangles here. But make them a little funky triangle, all right? triangles for the eye area. See how I'm working off this grid line? I have this grid line here. I'm working off of it. Ear triangles. Eye triangles. We can even do a mouth triangle. Okay? Circle. Lines, one up a little higher. Mouth triangle. Using that center line, working off of that a little bit. Eye triangles. They don't have to be perfect. This is just to get an idea. This is the scaffolding that our drawing will sit upon. Ears come out. Triangles. Like I'm going to be working off these ears. The goblin ears aren't going to exactly be that, but it's giving me something where I might go triangle that way. Right? You could have a head with a triangle going that way for his ears. Real quick, I'm just doing this again to show you how quick you can kind of lay something down like that, all right? Circle, lines, eyes, mouth, ears. Right? That's what we're going to build from. You know what? We're probably not going to get the skeletons. Here's a quick skeleton. Circle, ribs, legs, arms. And then his eyes are usually like ah. All right, so you got ribs, body, head, skeleton eyes, scary skeleton mouth, arms, extra legs. Skeleton tutorial, done. Ribs, no, stop asking. Yes, I'll show you. Ribs, skeleton, eyes, legs. Remember, he grew extra legs, so it's a spider skeleton. Back to the goblin. I'm going to go a little slower here and think about these shapes as I put them in here. So I'm taking in my head this basic form, overlaying it here in my mind. And I think, all right, I like those eyes. Let me see the mouth. I want to have, instead of just being straight, I want it to have a wicked smile. So I'm taking this top line here and I'm kind of giving him a little play to it, right? These lines, I'm looking at that here. Okay, I'm going to do this here, but I'm adding a little something to it as it goes in. Just a little bit of lip, a little bit of mouth, a little bit of fluidity. Eye triangles. I know I want them to be a little longer. And I'm saying I know. I'm just in the moment coming up with I know. So those eye triangles. Not quite it. This guy's looking like a jack-o'-lantern, right? Ears. I kind of want that triangle and it comes up and it kind of has a misshapen sort of curve to it. Top of the head, bottom of the head. Now I'm going to go in, I'm going to add some details to this head, all right? So things are going to start to change how they look some because of all the details going in here. Little eyes. Little eyes. I'm going to add some shape to these eyes here. Again, this is our pencil drawing. So when you're doing your pencil drawing, you can sketch a little bit. I'm going to add a nose here. And a nose, sometimes all a nose is a small open V. Fangs in there. Yeah, look at those fangs. This is like a bat-eared goblin. You know what goblins like these days? Rings. You got it. Say this is the edge of the ear. That's a ring in the ear right there. Look at that. Goblins love rings in their ears. Don't know why. Sharpie teeth. Some texture inside of the mouth just to fill in that area to make it dark. This is a mean little guy. Right, I'm just going to go to one of these side goblins just to give it a little bit. Like this, that guy's almost more than a goblin. Look, you put some furrows there or eyebrows. Eyebrows always add some character. Another triangle is the eyebrow. Triangle. triangle, eyebrows, triangle. Basic shapes, all of this built on basic shapes. Head, and then for me, like a goblin is a little messy, so I'm going to go back in. I'm just sketching up some of these lines to give him a little life. Give this guy a little movement here with some of these lines. Sketch it out. Inside that ear a little bit. Have fun with it. Little eyes. Little black eyes. Oh, man. Right? Almost looks like a Yoda. This is like angry Uncle Yoda. Skeleton. Gwendolyn show, you could do a skeleton army with all those skeletons. You could. Look at this guy. This skeleton is popping out of this goblin's head. Circle, big old skeleton eyes, scary arms. He's popping out of his head. Skeleton army. That's angry Uncle Yoda instead of Baby Yoda. Goblins and Yoda, come on, let's be honest, very similar. Again, I'm going to do just circles on these eyes. Circles. I'm drawing over it a little darker. I would go back and pen with this later, but I'm not concerned about that right now. Like, I like these pencil lines. I like that little sketch. Circle, circle, eye. We have a mouth. I'm going to go closed mouth this time. What will that look like? A lot of times on a mouth, what you do, you add those little guys. See those? That's the end of a mouth. Those are the sides of a mouth. Why? I don't know, but they are a little bit, all right? Believe me. Believe you me. See this? There they are. I mean, I obviously have a goatee, so it's a little different, but you can see how it's happening there. Great. Mouth. That guy's mouth. His ears. I'm going to make them kind of fun here. This one's kind of floppy. Look at that, like a floppy rabbit ear. That should make Rabbit Hutch happy. Again, I'm just coming in. What do these eyes look like? Eyebrows. Maybe one fang is hanging over his open mouth, his closed mouth. A nose. Nose is just a triangle. Floppy ear, angry bunny goblins. That's what a goblin looks like, everybody. That's your goblin. Like, everybody's goblin is going to look a little bit different. How much do you want to work your goblin? Let's go for a... All right, here's what we're going to do. We got 20 minutes left. We're doing great. I'm going to put up this slideshow real quick as I take a drink of my drink. All right, and then we'll get back to drawing this goblin. But check this out. That's the paper over here, obviously, now. But in the middle, you can see some of our viewers sent in some artwork. Cheers to the viewers. Thank you. Those are some owl bears. Logan sent in this cool flame sword and treasure chest. Vicky, look at that. That's beautiful. That's some trees from the top down. Like trees out in the yard from the top down. I tell you, you guys have to catch up with Hayes. He's been the most prolific at sending in artwork. Sorry I put your name over your shield, but your shield looks great there, Hayes. I'll adjust that for the future. You can see in some of these drawings, people do the practice stuff. Look at those potions. Potions are fun. Now, this next one, if this is going in order, this next one's really fun too. Colored potions. This is somebody who's thinking outside the box. They're using color already. We're not even into Season 2. Season 2's color. Nicole, well done. Hayes, using color here. Good job, everybody. We did treasure chests. We did weapons. These are some great kids. You can see me there. That was my first drawing class when I was in Arizona. Jessica and the fam over there drawing with me. Logan, that owlbears. Look at those eyebrows and the way those eyes are slanted, giving that face. Giving him a little mean look. Vicky, another great owlbear. Little sharp teeth. Look at the texture on that head and the body. Like, that's texture work, everybody. Look at this. Kelly, you can see some sketch lines in there, some texture right around that neck ruff is solid. Good, 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 good. Super fun. I'm going to have this going in the background up here for a second as I go back to the drawing. So that'll keep going there. Good job, users. Good job, players. Keep sending those in. I'll keep adding them to the slideshow. Maybe that slideshow will be an hour long at some point. I'll have to play it the whole time. We did these circles. We have a body. Goblin basic clothes, right? I'm just going to do some quick here. I need a sharper pencil. Sorry, hold on. Looking good. Looking good. We have some arms. We have some body. When drawing little sketches like this, little people like this, I find it's nice and quick. Like, you got to think about, again, if you have a teddy bear or a doll or a figure or a paper doll, you're putting these clothes, you're putting these accoutrements on their body. So you kind of draw them in layers as well. Those circles were about the layers in a way. Like, we're seeing, like, this layer is going to be, I'm combining these circles here, and I'm making a layer that is like a shirt, a chainmail shirt, which we drew in the past. All right, so I combined these layers. These were on the same plane. The head is in front. The head is a layer in front. Anything on the backpack would be behind. So that is, you can see I used those circles and kind of outlined all that to create what in essence is going to be a chainmail shirt. I might not do all these circles right now, but you see we did a chainmail shirt in the past. Overlapping circles, overlapping circles. You see that in some of the viewer mail. I can go bigger, and that might make it take quick words. I'll go bigger. It'll be quicker. Right? The more intricate you make your texture, obviously, the longer it's going to take. Some of my favorite ballpoint pen drawings are people who have drawn painting size with a ballpoint pen drawings that are so intricate. There's a couple Reddit threads that are in that world. All right, there's some circled chainmail shirt. And, yes, it does look like he's just very hairy. Like, please be careful with your chainmail. Now, the pants. I'm going to give him some, like, ragged shorts here. Again, using these shapes we have here already as the outline. Throw a belt on. Best belt buckle in the world right here, guys. Couple squares inside of each other. Oh, rectangle there. Belt. Shading. It's just making that belt a dark color right now. This is called cross-hatching, when you do two sets of parallel lines like that. Belt, again, a belt. Rectangle. Rectangle. Boom. Rectangle. Good enough. Looks like a belt to me. What you gotta do is get in there too, because that's the actual belt in there. If you really want to finish it off, there's the belt that went through. Part that went through. Lines in there. Crosshatch in there. I forgot to do that. Good job me remembering by doing it on the side. Oh. Deets, thanks for being here, man. That's fun that you're watching this while you're on a video call, conference call on the side. Good. Maybe afterwards you can be like, hey, I drew all of you like as goblins. Like you could surprise everybody with that. So right now these arms, these feet, more circles. You get a circle. You get a circle. You get a circle. You get a circle. Up here, this guy, he's going to be holding a potion. That's a circle and a rectangle. Again, I'm just drawing some things we did before. There's some fingers, hand holding a potion-ish, right? It doesn't matter right now. Like, the idea is we're working through it. Sometimes I just leave a circle, thumb. Good enough for now. Maybe some fingers. It's just a thumb. It's a little fist. There you go. Hands and feet. are a whole nother beautiful world. So you hide them. Hide them right now in your drawings if you don't want to have fun doing them or get into it. A boot is a flat. There's a boot. Half a circle, edges up. It's almost like a potion, a squish potion. There's some legs. There's your boots. The boots are facing towards you. If you want to do a side boot, best way to do it. You have a big rectangle. You're going to take a small rectangle out of it, essentially leaving you with this shape. All right? It's an L. Basic boot. Clean it up. Make that part curved there. Add a bottom line for the leather of a boot. Open it up like the top of a boot is open and add a little kickback to a little heel. You guys didn't see any of that. Do I move to the camera? I can't move the paper. Guys, I drew the best boot. 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 It's an L. Round the toe. Kick out the heel. Add a line. Open up the top. Boot. Right? Big rectangular L. Toe. Line. Kick out the heel. Open it up. There's your boot. Boot coming straight on. If you're looking that way at the boot, there's the toe. Toe of the boot. Line. Bottom. Kick it up. Little triangle action up top. You wanted to. Like this is just like lace up boots there. Toe. Kick out. Lace it up. Bottom tread. Okay? We got that goblin going on. That's what I did with these boots right here. Boots. Boom. Good. So let's do, let me show you two things here. I'm going to find the page where, I'm going to find the page where I did these original sketches of those goblin figures I showed you, the Little Empire goblin figures. So you can see how it actually worked out. You can see where I went with these sketches. It'll take me just a second to find them. Before I got potions in here, and I got some other characters I need to show you too, and I'll show you multiple things. These are the original sketches that those guys came from. All right, so a little out of focus there, but each one of these was. I'm gonna go to another page. I don't want to disturb that one. But you can see, those are the original sketches from my goblins. Good times. Gotta buy a new notebook, guys. That's fun. Little head. Big body. Little hands. All right? That guy became my chef. I put a chef hat on him. Gave him some little goblin ears. Hello, Rabbit Hutch. I drew a floppy-eared goblin for you. Goblin mouth, goblin nose, little ears. Again, these are just shapes. And then I did a shirt. And gave him a cleaver of some sort. Right? Another goblin. I had a guy with kind of a wide head. That was kind of fun. Normal shaped body. And he had a couple swords on him. So I gave him a wide head, and he had these little pointy ears off that head. A couple eyes, which are triangles, mouth, nose. He had a couple swords, couple big swords on him. Boots. It's that L shape. Some pants came up to these hands. Gave him a bandolier or something. Quick sketches. All right, what do we got? A head. We have a body. We'll make this guy have a blocky body. We got some arms. And we got some stubby feet, all right? Ears, triangle shapes off of here. Eyes, triangles. Mouth, triangle. Nose. Little beady eyes in there. Fangs. ear piercing, head. He's got blocky. He's got some armor on, maybe. So he's got these shoulder pads, armor shoulder pads, which his arms are coming out of. He's got this plate mail. We did some plate mail before. He's got these stubby little legs coming out of here. And boots that are facing at you. Little goblin guy. Everybody's doing their own goblins in a way. Everybody's doing their own goblins. Circle. Circle. This is going to just be a normal size goblin. Goblin. Circle, 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 circle. Right, we got 7 minutes. So again, I'm just doing some quick sketches. Let's do a quick head. Triangles. How quickly can I do it? Triangle. 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 Basic goblin, and then you build on top of that. This one is wearing a cross bandolier. One side goes that way, one side goes that way. He's got a belt here. Some shorts, some pants. He just has longer pants and then bare feet. Look at those little goblin toes. Again, don't worry about extremities yet. Look at those horrible goblin toes. That's okay. Goblin toes are another thing for another time. Some goblin arms. You come up here. He's not wearing a shirt or anything. Fangs, eyes. You just work those lines a little bit. Let yourself go. Give yourself some freedom to make it happen as you go. Let the pencil, let the pen do some of the work. Let it take you somewhere. Look at those little hands. Thumb, remember? You just make like a square and add another square on it. That looks like a thumb almost, right? Add some fingers. You're good to go. This guy has a big long spear. Quick goblins, friends. Quick goblins. We're making a goblin army right now. We got 5 minutes. Let's see a couple things. First of all, send me your drawings of goblins. Send them in. Send those drawings to me. Have a sip of water. Now's a great time. Let me show you this other. We got it. That's almost it for today, guys. That's almost it. So we're starting to wrap it up. Let me show you a couple other goblin things we worked on or drawings I did. This was today. Remember we had a teddy bear? That was a good one. This was from the other day, but I thought it very fitting to what we're working on right now. A way you can use these overlapping circles. Here I am with overlapping circles. I have them overlapping and the character is facing away a little bit. And look how I filled out this, so you almost have this 3D effect. Right? All with overlapping circles. So think about that as you're going forward. Mostly think about how you can have a great week. How you can spread some love with some friends, connect with some people, enjoy your time with family, with anybody. Make sure you drink plenty of water. Do these doodles, do these sketches. Hang out with a drawing pad and a pencil. Even if you're writing, you're sketching, being creative. Make sure you're always going and doing. Learn something. YouTube is full of videos. If you want to learn history, math, science, religion, the basics of any industrial skill, HVAC stuff, changing the light switch, you can do so many things. There's so many people who want to teach you, and that's part of what this is. If you've ever wanted to learn to draw or to enhance your doodles, that's what I'm here for, friends. It started off being kind of a kid's drawing class, but I think, and that was just because I was drawing with my nephew, and we were having a great time. We were doing it through online one day, and I was like, I want to do this with more people. Thank you for being here. If you want to support me at all, you can go check out Little Empire. There's probably a link somewhere on Twitch. I have these goblins. I have a stack of goblins in a 10 of 10. New product showing up. Super fun. And if you have any suggestions or ideas, I'm at the point now where I'm just making stuff up to draw, kind of choosing on a whim-ish. I'm not headed anywhere towards any major drawings. I've already done some of those where I knew I was like, I want to have a dungeon and pieces. Maybe we'll start to bring stuff together, but if there's something you'd like to see drawn or learn how to draw, I'll break it down. We can do it. We'll learn how to draw together. That would be great for me too. So it kind of gets me out of what I normally draw, so I'm drawing more things that other people want to see. Anything that gets me drawing differently or drawing something I'm not used to drawing, plus. Have a great week. We'll be here again next Wednesday. Bring some people by. That would be greatly appreciated. That would be a way to do it. If next week, you got to get a couple people, hey, come take this drawing class with me. Hang out online. Maybe make it a Zoom thing somehow where you can meet with them and have me stream as well and you're watching it. That's on you. I'm sure you'll figure it out. You're all smart people. That's what I appreciate about you. My fans, my friends, my family, smart people. Love that. Cheers to family. This is the first time I'm ending early. And by early, I mean 2 minutes early. But I'm just going to talk it out here. Gosh darn it. I'm going to draw a couple more goblins. I'm going to have what? Can I get a goblin drawn in 1 minute? It's a 1 minute goblin challenge. 1 minute goblin challenge. Here we go. 1 minute goblin challenge. Make it happen, Louie. Make it happen. Here we go. 1 minute goblin challenge. All right. Circle. Circle. Here we go. Triangle, triangles, triangles, mouth. All right, here we go. Here we go. 1 minute goblet challenge. Never seen this before. Triangle for the tail. Mer goblin, friends. Mer goblin. Has a trident, of course. A hand, thumb, couple fingers. Ears are kind of come out, so they got goblin fishy ears. Over here is a hand with a thumb, some fingers. This big fishy mouth, but still has spiky teeth in it. Little beady eyes like a fish. Look at that guy. 1 minute challenge. 1 minute challenge. We've done it. We've done it, ladies and gentlemen. We made it to the 1 minute challenge. We did it. We made a mer goblin in that 1 minute. Good job. Woo! Pins down. Pins down. Chefs, I hope your meal is plated. Let's take it to the judges. That was a great mer goblin, everybody. Thanks for being here. That was an hour drawing lesson. That's what you need. Spend an hour every week. If you really want to get good at something, spend 20 to 30 minutes every day dedicated to that thing, concentrating on it, working on it. And I'll see you next week. Goodbye. Thank you for being here. Bye. Send me those drawings.